Art's a clown, right? And what do clowns do best? They entertain. However, Art's a little bit different. Art's form of entertainment, to not only himself and his viewers, are his kills. So that's what we're going to go over today, is what I think Art's best 5 kills are. We're not going to go over anything other than the Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2 kills, because those feature him primarily as an antagonist. We follow his story in particular. So coming in at number 5 would be the Halloween store employee. We've all been there at the end of a hard day's work when the last person comes in and you kind of just want to get going, you know, your shift's over, you want to go home and wind. However, this employee ends up trying to kick out the wrong person.
Hey, did you hear what I said? Get the hell out of here before I fuck you up.
They say the customer is always right, and Art gets right to business by slamming a broken bottle into the man's eye. It's kind of this like cookie cutter aspect of the broken bottle going in and leaving like a Pringles size shaped can hole in the dude's face, and it's pretty gnarly. As he beats the ever-loving shit out of this man, he then proceeds to take a cleaver and hit the man in the head with it. And this part reminded me of when you order takeout pizza for some reason and they don't cut the crust all the way through, so you end up having to take out a knife or something else and start like pushing it down, because that's what Art does. He starts pushing this cleaver down until he eventually decides to just whack the man in the neck a couple times, effectively severing his head. Number 4, I'll have to say, is the Coroner from the start of Terrifier 2 and the end of Terrifier 1. In the end of Terrifier 1, you see Art grab the man by the neck, and then the camera pans out, only to see down the hallway of the morgue. It's only in the start of Terrifier 2 that we pick up right where we left off from that movie, and we see Art just display this sadistic fashion in which he tears this man up, puts him through hell, pulls his eye out, mocks the man, and then crushes his face, rips his skull apart. It's just crazy. But most importantly, the reason that I chose this scene to be my number 4 was because it effectively set Terrifier 2 up for the viewer to be a complete gore fest. You knew right away that when we got into this movie, it was just going to be completely unruly and sadistic. The mom Barb takes the number 3 spot for me because this scene is just outright crazy. Art not only blows her head off with his sawn-off boomstick, but as the son Jonathan walks in the front door, he sees his mom sitting at the table with her head back on her shoulders, and it kind of looks like the inside of a pumpkin that you'd smash on the side of the road. Clearly in shock seeing the state of his deceased mother sitting at the dinner table, Art comes out with mashed potatoes and everything's just alright. He serves her a little wine, and then this is where it gets crazy. He starts to jam the mashed potatoes into her already blown open face. I started laughing at this scene because it's just so over the top. It's just quite crazy if you ask me. But that's what makes these slasher movies fun, is the over the top gore, and I'm glad that Damien Leone has a kind of sick, twisted sense of humor, because it really brought something I haven't seen to the big screen in a while, which is just over the top sadism. My number 2 spot would be Dawn from the first movie. I just like that she thinks she can get her way with everything, and she's like the princess type. She goes over and sits on Art's lap to get a selfie with him, which turns out to be a bad idea. Then again, anybody that comes across Art's bound to have a bad day. But she takes it an extra step when she clearly knows that her friend is creeped out by Art because of the blank stare that he's giving to them. And she takes the opportunity to take a selfie with him and post it on her social media.
You already have 8 likes.
This backfires when he later catches up with her and saws her down the middle from her hoo-ha down to her skull, and ends up taking a selfie with her divided body. Number 1 for me has to be the scene with Allie in the second movie. This scene is so over-the-top grotesque that it just took it to a whole nother level. This scene is wild. Art chases Allie up the stairs after breaking and entering and having a glass of water by the sink right before this chase ensues, and he catches up to her in her bedroom, and man, he just starts going to town, slashing her back open, slashing her eye open. I mean, he starts moving quickly, he's breaking her arm, he's just doing anything he can to defile this poor girl as fast as he can. All the meanwhile, he's enjoying it. He's holding her in front of a mirror so she can see her disfigured body. It's absolutely insane. It's true testament to what makes Art what he is, which is the most sadistic demon clown that probably has ever graced the big screen. He makes Pennywise look like a burger flipper at Weenie Hut Jr. Art sneakily runs off as if he's got another trick up his sleeve, and he does. He brings up a bottle of bleach and salt and starts pouring it into the wounds of poor Allie as she's crawling around on the ground all disfigured. It's pretty brutal. And that's why I think this is my favorite of all the scenes in the Terrifier movies, just because of how over the top imaginative it is to take this kind of movie to this level. So I think that'll wrap things up. If you enjoyed today's content, please be sure to go ahead and hit the like button down below, subscribe so you can get notified to future videos, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.